G'day guys, Harry here from MITS Alloy. Behind me is a vehicle that needs absolutely no introduction. It's Rocket Rod's 79 series and we've just fitted it out with a brand new MITS Alloy tray and canopy package. So come with me and let's take a closer look. Now last time I saw this car was actually when we were up in the Kimberley last year filming with 4Wheel Drive 24/7. This thing copped an absolute thrashing through some of the most remote and harsh terrain Australia's got to offer. Now, if you've been watching Rocket's videos, you've probably seen it's been parked up for the last 12 months or so, getting a whole heap of work done, and that's why it's come to us to get a birthday with a brand new tray and canopy package. Before we get into it though, let's take a look at some of the other accessories he's fitted to turn this thing into a touring weapon. Perhaps one of the most distinctive things you notice straight away about the 79 is this one-off off-road animal custom bull bar. This has been done in a gal finish that's rusted and then been clear coated over the top to give it a nice patina. He's running your standard Baja design lights, King's Dominator winch, and around the side here, as you'd expect of a vehicle that goes to places like he does, he's running 35-inch tyres and upgraded brakes importantly, as well as a full J-Max diff correction and all the associated arms and suspension componentry underneath. One thing I would like to touch on is, of course, because it's from Wholesale Automatic Transmissions, it has the famous 6-speed automatic transmission conversion that Rocket is so famous for. That makes it a pleasure to drive. I might note it would actually be quite nice to have one in the MITS 79, so Rocket, if you are watching this, we might hit you up. Anyway, let's take a closer look at the tray and canopy. So what you're looking at on the back of Rocket's car is our 1765 dual cab tray with our 1700 canopy on top. Now, before we go any further, I want to touch on the sizes. This size here is larger than what we recommend for the 79 series dual cab. The reason for that is because you always want to minimise the amount of rear overhang you have behind the rear axle. Now, Rocket has a specific purpose for this. Because his old canopy was so long, even longer than this one in fact, he was so used to having the internal storage space for displays of gearboxes at shows and putting all of his camping gear into, he absolutely didn't want to compromise on any storage space. So that's why we've gone for the 1700 canopy on this setup. But for most punters out there, we definitely recommend keeping it shorter at 1500mm. So starting with the tray package, up the front, every MITS Alloy tray comes with a 30-litre poly headboard water tank. That's 30 litres of potable BPA-free drinking water. You have your tap outlet down here on the left-hand side and your fill points up here. Underneath, you get a pair of flared mud guards and a pair of tapered rear under tray toolboxes. Every MITS Alloy tray comes with our standard black textured powder coat. A popular option, especially with Land Cruiser owners, is tying in your toolbox and canopy doors to match the vehicle colour. Now, because Rocket's got a graphite car, we can match this in powder coat, but otherwise, if you've got like a Merlot red or a midnight blue Land Cruiser, we can send those off to be 2-packed for an exact match. Around the back, on every tray, you get a rear pull-out under tray drawer. The length varies depending on whether you've selected an under tray water tank like Rocket has. That shortens the drawer down here to 800ml, but it gets you an extra 60 litres of water up the front. Now, if this was a full-size under tray drawer, it would come out to about 1500ml. So because Rocket's optioned in that 60 litre under tray water tank up the front, we've got the extra outlet at the back here that's on a rocker switch to access that extra 60 litres water. On the rear wall of the canopy, Rocket's opted for twin spare wheel carriers and a deep ladder. Because Rocket's planning on running a rooftop tent, we've selected the multi-rack crossbar system. Now that's a simple bolt-on solution for mounting rooftop tents. If you're planning on running a rooftop setup on your canopy, the sales guys can chat you through the setup that best suits you. If you're familiar with the concept behind our canopies, you'll know that you can change out all of your internal components with a 13mm spanner. Now, that gives you the flexibility if your needs change over time. You can swap out your internal layouts to suit what you require. Now, Rocket selected our P3 internal layout with an ES220 drop-down slide up the front and cage that surrounds it. Building off the side of that is our updated single drawer and table design. This is featuring our new drawer dividers as well as carpet both inside the drawer and on top. Around the other side, you can see we're running a 1200mm drop shelf. That's perfect for storing chairs, tables. I put my camera gear up there. It's all stuff you don't want to have floating around on the floor and keeping it up nice and securely away from damage. Rocket's also selected to put in a smaller drop shelf because he's got some spare height above his fridge. He also likes his food while he's on the road, so he's going to run a Travel Buddy in this Travel Buddy shelf. And at the rear, he's got our upright pull-out pantry design. So because Rocket's got a 1700mm Land Cruiser canopy, he's able to fit the ES220 drop-down fridge slide at the front, the single drawer on the table, and the pantry fills up the remaining space at the rear of the canopy. Now, if you're running the size we recommend, which is a 1500mm, you can still retain this pantry, but you have to go from an ES220 to an upright fridge. Now, because Rocket spends so much time living out of this vehicle in the bush, he needs a decent power system to power all of his fridges, appliances, and things like his travel buddy. That's why he selected the RedArc Ultimate package. This is our most popular 12-volt system, and it contains two 100 amp hour HD lithium RedArc batteries. It's all run through the RedVision and TVMS, the Manager 30 kit, so you get 30 amp charging from your vehicle's input, solar, and AC input if you plug it into a 240 mains outlet. It's running 180 watt solar panel on the roof and a 2000 watt inverter for running hydro appliances up to 2000 watts. This package includes your dimmable, door mounted, hardcore LED strip lights, your SIG sockets, USB outlets, and you have the functionality of monitoring it all from your smartphone or other device through the RedVision system, so you can monitor it from your campsite or in the car while you're traveling. Well, there you have it, guys. If you're looking to give your Land Cruiser a new lease on life like Rocket's done, our team are here to help you find a setup that is right for you. To find out more information, give us a call or head to mitsalloy.com.au.